and we met up occasionally for drinks in London after that, but we didn't really have very much in common, did we? Because I was like a really serious career girl, and Brian had just taken voluntary redundancy. He was thinking of starting up a gardening business in Berkshire. So we were quite different. And then Brian, over one glass of wine, Brian told me that he'd been diagnosed with cancer. And to this day, I don't know why I said it, but for some reason I said, "Oh, Brian, I'm going to write you letters to cheer you up." And I mean, I barely knew him, so God knows.
And she'd never written before.
And I didn't write anything. But I did, I wrote them, and I realised that I'd said that they were going to be letters to cheer him up, so I was going to have to make them a bit funny as well. And that started my writing to him, where I've written over 100 letters, and it started our amazing friendship, and has now led on to our new project of From Me to You, which is where we inspire and encourage people to write letters to friends who've got cancer. So what we're going to read tonight is some of my letter extracts and Brian's journal extracts from 2010 when we were writing. Okay. January 18th, 2010. Dear Brian, I have thought of you a lot since you told me your diagnosis, so here I am, writing a letter to cheer you up. Apologies if I don't write very much, but apparently I have a chronic iron deficiency. I blame it on my recent conversion to vegetarianism. I'm told that my iron levels are so low I wouldn't even make an iron filing. So I'm now up to my eyeballs in spinach and watercress, and suggest that you do the same, as you're going to need all the iron you can get for your treatments. Speaking of treatments, I think that you are by now embarking on your daily trip to Reading for radiotherapy. I imagine that you'll quickly bore of the journey. You could liven things up by criticising the hairstyles of fellow drivers. And if that fails, just resort to the old favourite. Make rude words out of number plates. If you'd like, Brian, I could pop over one day and we drive to Reading together, like a road trip. Thelma and Louise. I'm happy to bring a thermos flask and an oversized road map so we look authentic.
It's January the 30th, 2010. There's a long queue today. The radiotherapy whiteboard says it would be an hour's wait. I tried to read my book, but I can't. I'll read one of Alison's letters. Make me smile. Take me away from this awful reality. Jeremy Vines on the radio. Trivial conversations about things that don't matter. They won't change the station. Apparently, Jeremy's popular. Breathe. Stay calm. There's an elderly man in a wheelchair, holding his head in his hands. In pain? Who says radiotherapy has no side effects? But I need it to work for me. I need it to shrink this tumour. They call my name and give me 2 gowns, one to be done up at the back and one at the front. I look down at my feet. I'm wearing black shoes and socks.
February 15th, 2010. So Brian, as you're busy on your radiotherapy ritual, I thought I'd get busy doing something for a good cause. The cancer charities seem only to want me to run or cycle long distances, which I shan't do. So I volunteered to help with a small children's charity in Kensal Rise. They're organising an art auction. I figure they need all the help they can get, and to be fair, I did used to work opposite the Tate Modern. First committee meeting went something like this. Chairwoman. Now, does anyone know Roman Abramovich? Because his girlfriend Dasha is very big on the Russian art scene. Committee member number 1. One of my best friends is about to start working in Dasha's office. I'll get her to get Dasha involved. Is this for real? Chairwoman. Now, we've got Kirsty Allsop and Gabby Rosalind doing the auctioneering, so the paparazzi will be everywhere, but obviously only Harper's and Tatler will be allowed into the event. I'll let them know I'm having drinks with them tomorrow. And Sienna Miller was supposed to come last year, paparazzi around all evening. Be great if we could actually get her to turn up this year. Committee member number 3. I live next door to Savannah, her half-sister, and we're having breakfast this week. I'll ask her to get Sienna along. What was I doing volunteering? I don't know anyone. Chairwoman. Of course, the trouble with the celebrities is that they don't put their hands in their pockets. At last, my moment. Twiggy was at a charity art auction I attended recently, and her friends bid £20,000 for her Bailey photo of her. Oh, you know Bailey! Fabulous! Get him to donate! I'm saying no, but it's too late. She thinks I know David Bailey. Oh, Brian, you don't know him, do you? And I wouldn't mind, but they're not even a bloody cancer charity. Brian, you couldn't tweet David Bailey, could you?
It's May the 1st, 2010. Gillian visits today. I'm not sure I'm up to visitors so soon after surgery, even if she is my best friend. She swans in as glamorous as ever. I know I must be pale. I won't be looking in the mirror for a long time. She's brought goodies, magazines and a bottle of Evian water. You can't be drinking that dreaded tap water, she says. There's a tube going up my nose and into my stomach, draining the bile and stopping the vomiting. I hate being sick. I always cry. Why is that? Gillian sits on the bed, swinging her legs, pretending not to look at the tube. What do you think to my new designer accessory, I ask. I wondered what it was, she says. I explain. It's not permanent, is it, she says. God, no, I'd never be able to leave the house. The room goes quiet. I suggest she turns on the radio. Great, she says, jumping off the bed. Switch it off, I shout, a second later. Why? It's bloody Jeremy Vine.
May 15th, 2010. I have now spoken to you twice since you came out of hospital, and I can't believe how chirpy you sound. I'm questioning whether you've actually ever been in hospital at all. Did you perhaps take yourself off to a spa, have a few treatments, and then miraculously reappear all healthy and somewhat slimmer? My only concern in the whole of this charade is, who does Gillian think she's been visiting? Anyway, Brian, this bloody art auction has taken over my life. It's all right for you, convalescing, while I'm having a dreadful time. I haven't even managed to source one piece of art. I met a friend of a friend last week, owner of an art gallery. Said perhaps he could help. First he asked if I had any links to any of the collecting families. I said I didn't think so. Not even the Sackvilles, he guffawed. Who the hell are the Sackvilles? But you do have a Farwa Paris, he said. I'm not actually sure if he did say Farwa Paris, but it was something that sounded like that. Every auction needs a Farwa Paris, he told me. Farwa Paris, Brian? What's a bloody Farwa Paris? Well, let me see what I can do for you, he said. I'll get you your Farwa Paris. Obviously, at this stage, I'm grateful for anything I can get. But I don't imagine many heads are going to turn at the art auction committee when I rock up with a Farwa Paris. I wouldn't even be doing this if you hadn't got bloody cancer. Thanks, Brian.
It's August the 9th, 2010. Here I am again, in the blue chair, staring out of the window. 3 months down, 3 to go. I could paint this view with my eyes closed. Give it to Alison for the art auction. Tell her it's a Farwa Paris. Hot pads wrapped in towels are warming my hands. Apparently, it will bring the veins to the surface, ready to be harpooned with the chemo. There are a few new faces today. We only smile at each other. No camaraderie or friendship. But all of us alone. The nurse is heading my way. Thankfully, he's the one who's good at harpooning. I tell my veins to behave, to be brave. We must have these drugs if we are to survive.
September 22nd, 2010. Dear Brian, the auction raised £120,000. I'm lying in a darkened room. You need to get better. Charity work is exhausting.
It's November the 25th, 2010. I'm clear. I actually have the all clear. I'm not sure what happens next. I have no plans beyond this day. A group of friends threw me a party. Surprise. You did it, they exclaimed. You beat cancer. We have a lovely evening, but I felt removed from it. Like I was watching a movie, with me in the starring role. Christmas is only a month away, and then it's 2011, and I'm clear.
December 1st, 2010. Dear Brian, this is the most wonderful news. What a Christmas present. Of course these letters will stop now. They were only for when you were ill, and now you're better. January 10th, 2011. Dear Brian, I can't believe I'm writing again.